Update. Am I the asshole for not telling people my missing cousin is staying with me right away? First off, I want to thank everyone for their comments and advice. Thank you for saying I was not the asshole, because I was doubting myself. Regarding the camp people, we have footage of them coming up to our house, and other family members' houses, looking for Jake. So we have a clear image of what they look like. I already warned those people not to come near our house or Jake. They seem to listen, but Jake is still not going to leave the house without someone. I talked to the police about it, and they cannot do anything unless these people break the law, but they will keep an eye out. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Regarding the paperwork, my aunt and uncle refuse to hand over the papers. They want Jake to either come home or go with those people. Neither is happening. We are looking up ways to get Jake's paperwork without them, but someone suggested calling the police and explaining what happened. While I don't usually want to go that far, that is what we are probably going to have to do. Regarding therapy, Jake agreed to it. I am getting a referral from my own therapist, so Jake is going to get help there. Regarding family, insert loud sounds of pained annoyance less than some family threatened to come over to try and make Jake go back home. Others, while understanding why I didn't tell them Jake was here, are still upset with me. It'll be a while before I can smooth things over with them. Regarding Jake, he is safe. We have him set up comfortably here. My granny-in-law pretty much adopted him, and I am so sure she is going to put him in his will. He is safe, surrounded by people that support him, and I'm going to see about finding him some work when he's ready to try it. Again, thank you everyone for your messages and advice. We will be using them. And Jake says thank you as well. Good update. I hope Jake finds true happiness away from those monsters. If you are in the States and Jake is over 18, he can get his birth certificate and social reissued. You should have a local government office that can do so. Husband lost his at some point and we had to get his reissued. Also, as someone who also acquired a family member due to parental intolerance of their gender identity, you're doing good. We got threatened with various legal actions, but it was all hot air since there was no actual basis. So good luck to you all. Original post. Thank you for the update. I'm glad to hear that he's doing well and you're all on top of the situation. I would consult with a lawyer about the paperwork and what can be done to obtain it. Of course, I am not a lawyer myself, so take my advice with a grain of salt and maybe go over to the legal advice subreddit for more information. Best regards to you and Jake. ETA. Some people have reminded me that Jake is 18. It's been a while since I've read the original post, so I retract my statement about custody and family court and have edited my comment to reflect that. You deserve heaven, dude. Thank you so much for standing up for Jake. I hope those relatives who were upset would have sucked it up by now, but I guess it was too much to expect. I talked to the police about it, and they cannot do anything unless these people break the law, but they will keep an eye out. And trespassing on private property with the express purpose of committing harm against others isn't illegal. I'm so glad he's safe. You're a wonderful person. It might be messy and a bit expensive, but I know you can get his social security card reissued, because the dog ate mine, so I think you can also do the same for his birth certificate, if you happen to know which hospital he was born in. Good for you for protecting your cousin. Seriously, what century is this? I am straight. But I have friends who are trans, gay, lesbian. I really think 90% of people don't care as long as it is between consenting adults. Adultery I do not support, and if a friend cheats I am no longer their friend. But seriously, I am proud of you. YAYAY. I remember seeing this post earlier, and am so happy that you were able to successfully protect Jake from those horrible people. Good luck in trying to get the remaining papers, and hypothetically you could file a suit with a lawyer against his parents, to get the rest of the things. He is an adult and legally, they can't hold those papers from him. He can get a police escort to get his documents. Since he's 18 and therefore emancipated, he is no longer beholden to his parents' wishes. If the camp people or other members of your family arrive and take him anywhere against his wishes, it's an act of kidnapping. Thanks for the update. I'm glad there was someone in his corner, and yes, thank you for sticking to your guns. You're a great person. I wish y'all the best. If he's 18, he should be able to get a new copy of birth certificate and social security card at the recorder's state offices. I lost mine and just got them, assuming he has an ID on him. Is your granny-in-law willing to adopt more people? I don't want in the will, I just want free food. So glad to hear he is safe. I lost all my identity papers in a house fire. Maybe the process I went through can help Jake get copies of his. First thing I did was get a copy of my high school transcripts. With those, my state ID and a bill in my name, I was able to get a certified copy of my birth certificate. With birth certificate in hand, I was able to get a certified copy of my social security card. If he is unable to get the originals, then he should see what the process is to get certified copies in his state. There will be a way. He should also proceed with freezing his credit and taking any other precautions to protect his identity from his parents. Check and see if the state the camp is located in has banned conversion therapy. If it has, that camp is illegal and you can report them to the state, which will then shut that place down. Imagine spending so much time and energy hating your gay kid and trying to torture them out of being gay. Not hyperbole. Google conversion therapy if you're unfamiliar, instead of just loving and accepting them. You don't need me to say not the asshole, but I'm putting not the asshole anyway. You've done an absolutely wonderful thing. It's absolutely infuriating that there are parents out there that are unwilling to accept their children as they are, and are willing to subject them to trauma and abuse instead of doing so. I have children. I can't imagine terrifying them in this manner. Parents are supposed to be the people that love you and care for you as you are. I hope that with your love and care that Jake will overcome this and find all the happiness that he deserves. Wonderful, amazing job op. Less than 3 hugs. I am just shocked to know those camps still fucking exist in 2020. Thanks for the update. I'm glad Jake has you. I lost my social security card a while back and the online process to get a new one mailed to you is pretty simple. You just have to know your social security number, and don't need ID as proof. It's also free. I am glad Jake is doing okay and hopefully he can get all his documents so he can start to move on from his toxic parents. So glad Jake is safe. Could consider posting in our legal advice and see if they have any suggestions. Just to let you know, you can get your birth certificate from vitalcheck.com. And the AS card for free from ssa.gov. With those you can get him a driver's license and passport. No need for him to go home to get the documents. So glad he is safe with you. You and your wife are amazing for taking him in and you did the right thing by keeping his whereabouts a secret. Good luck. Hey, I got kicked out of my family for being trans once I came out, though thankfully I was 21 at the time. But I just want Jake to know it can get better, especially with a supportive family member such as yourself. Heart, I am trans and lesbian, so my heart is always extra worried about my fellow queers. I am so grateful Jake has you. I read your original post too and was so glad for the outpouring of support. Heart. As far as the paperwork is concerned, if you are talking about a birth certificate and social security card, if he was born in the US and is 18 or older, he can get it himself. He can even apply online and pay small fee for birth certificate, not sure about social, and have it sent to whatever address he wants. I talked to the police about it, and they cannot do anything unless these people break the law, but they will keep an eye out. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Document everything, and get a paper trail. They are likely going to cross the line of harassment and/or threats in the near future, and if you are lucky, you will at some point run into an officer that takes it seriously. Cameras on your property if it is legal, and a GPS tracker on him, with his full consent and knowledge of course, is also worth looking into. There is also mobile apps that records and uploads to a cloud. Hope for the best, and prepare for some rough years. You did the right thing, and I hope that this shit gets banned soon. It ruins so many kids and young adults. Wait, isn't Jake 18 plus? Isn't there a way to file a complaint with the police for theft of property? Technically it's his and they can't keep it from him. If he has a state ID and such, he can be reissued his birth certificates and social security. If he can't, you can sue his parents for the papers. If you sue them for damages for needing to go this far. Also filing a restraining order. The restraining order would include the people that his parents sent out to get him as well, due to the parents using a third party to try and contact him, and if those people come and approach Jake, the parents could go to jail or prison for violating the order. Basically this forces the parents to call off the people, and even if the people ignore them, if caught, both could go to prison. You're an amazing person and Jake is lucky to be in your care. Hey, just as a side note here, because Jake was technically homeless, he likely qualifies for grant money, tuition and books etc. at the local community college. Taking a class or two may help him connect to other resources like LGBTQ+ clubs and support even if he's not too interested in a degree right now. Community colleges offer so much more than education and are really set up to help the transitioning adult. I spent 17 months in a boarding school for troubled teens, Cross Creek Manor if anyone is curious. So many of my friends were taken by people who their parents hired to take them forcibly, and it really fucked them up. Many are still dealing with the trauma of basically being kidnapped and their parents being complicit in it. Thank you for protecting Jake. I'm so glad that he has people like you and your ill to turn to keep him safe. Read your original post. The part about the camp folks showing up and trying to take him was deeply unsettling. That's some Handmaid's Tale shit. Not the asshole, you're possibly the best cousin ever. Let Jake know he can absolutely fire a therapist if he feels like it isn't a good fit. If he feels worse after the session, that's a good indication it's not a good fit. He may also qualify for a scary-looking emotional support animal. That's generally an effective fix if you're worried about unsafe people abducting you. Link to previous post. If he files a restraining order against his family, a police officer would have to supervise a visit to get his paperwork. A friend of mine had to do something similar. Hope everything works out. P.S. A city hall should be able to issue a new birth certificate if that helps. Edit. Also, if he does file a restraining order against his family, they not only won't be able to come and get him, they won't be able to contact him. You should file one as well so they don't try to contact you. If you file and they contact you or him, turn it over to the police and they will be facing some legal consequences. You're doing a great thing. Your cousin is lucky to have you. Just wanted to mention 2 resources. The Trevor Project connects LGBTQ+ youth with resources and has a 24/7 crisis line, 1-866-488-7386. Your cousin might want to write that hash down and put it in their wallet. They don't have to be suicidal to call. Any crisis qualifies, and this whole ordeal is certainly a crisis. The Good Fruit Project is part of the Trevor Project, but focused on fighting conversion therapy in Christian settings. They may have some resources for you, or if nothing obvious, worth shooting them a call note to see if they can connect you with resources. It's people like you who give me hope about this world. He can get his own birth certificate. I had to get mine. I used Vital Records to get mine. I live in Oregon and I am from Oklahoma. You need his date of birth, where he was born, and I think they ask for parents' names. I paid like $35 and I needed it for the DMV and to get my concealed carry license. In Oregon you can also get your SS card online. Go to your state's government website and check the process. It was super easy for me. Because Jake is 18 he can get new copies or important documents. I ordered my stuff online. It's not hard and you don't have to deal with his shit parents. I'm so freaking happy Jake had someone like you in his life, to catch him when all this went down. From a total stranger who happens to be queer, thank you Op. Regarding your family. First off, it's not about them, it's about Jake's safety. Anyone who gives you shit needs to be reminded of that and then told to shut their pie hole. Period. Second, for anyone insisting he goes home, they don't care about him. Period. Please continue to keep Jake safe. If he's under 18, see if you can file for emancipation guardianship. If he's over 18, just have him gets his important documents reissued. Give your cousin a big hug from me and tell him a stranger on the internet says he is the bravest person I've heard of in a while. It takes guts to run away like that and I'm amazed and in awe. And as for his parents, well, the less said, the better. You can get a police escort to retrieve belongings and identity paperwork, in TXUS anyways, just call your local non-emergency police number and see what you can do about it. All the best to all of you, may have long and happy lives that see all your hopes and dreams come true, best thing I've seen on Reddit. You guys truly have restored some faith in humanity. Jake has one hell of good bunch people around him. County Records Office will have them birth certificate. He can request a certified copy for a few bucks. I read once a while back you can get a replacement social security card from the government website. You just have to create a login and verify your identity. With a replacement social security card you can begin to replace other life documents. Or at least you will have that one that's easily attainable. Good luck. You're doing a good thing for your cousin. I now imagine Jake and Granny-in-law going in high jinks and getting in trouble together. I don't know why that part of the story made me so happy, but it really did. I'm so glad to hear that Jake has people looking out for his well-being and happiness. Thank you for helping him despite all the abuse you get from others. Those camps are torture, pain and simple. It's absolutely disgusting that they are still a thing. I think pretty much all his critical papers you should be able to get without involving his parents. Social Security Administration should be able to issue a new card. Birth certificate should be on record with the county of his birth. Pretty much all his papers should be available somewhere, it's just determining what government office to talk to. Don't let his parents use those documents as any sort of leverage or to feel power over him. Since he's over 18 now, they literally have zero control anymore. Make sure he talks to his bank and has them removed as any sort of contact or co-sponsor or whatever as well. Or even better, just close those accounts and start over. Glad to hear this update. Hopefully everything works out well. I'm so glad he has you. In the meantime, tell all your homophobic family members, especially his parents, to watch the movie Boy Erased. And that you won't speak with them until they do. My mom and aunt both ordered their birth certificates through since they never had the long-form copy. It took about 6 weeks with COVID, but was an easy process overall. IIRC, after proving your identity through an automated credit check, the only additional requirement was that payment came from the named person with the same delivery and billing address. Not sure if this will work for you or not, as you'd probably have to add him as an authorized user on your account to get him a credit card, but might be an option. What was the OG story?